Good evening. I have 6:30, so I'll call to order this meeting of the Columbus Common Council for Tuesday, June 5th, 2018. When you're ready, could you please take a roll call?
Hendrickson?
Here.
Kenny?
Here.
Millar?
Here.
Reed?
Here.
Tylen?
Here.
Tome?
Here.
Traxler?
Here.
All present.
Thank you. If able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting has been noticed in accordance with state statutes and local ordinances. Next item then is to approve the agenda. Unless there's any deletions or alterations, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved. Up next, we have correspondence and communications. I didn't see anyone signed up back there this evening. Was anyone present this evening that wished to speak under citizen comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda then. We have 10 items this evening. 9 of them are meeting minutes from various boards, committees, and commissions. And the 10th item is a street closing applications for Mike and Amy Jo Myers. If you look at the street closing application, it's actually a dead-end road, so any questions on any of those items? Any corrections on the minutes or desire to break any items apart? If none, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. No unfinished business tonight, so on to new business number 1, which is consider and take action on mayoral appointments to city boards, committees, and commissions. This is just a little cleanup from the list we had at the last meeting. John Ganga will be reappointed for another term to the Board of Review. Jeff Henning will be reappointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and Rolf Lang will be appointed to replace the retirement of Eugene Beyer, who's left a vacancy. Wanted to thank Gene for many years of service on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm not specifically sure on how many years he served, but I know he's been there quite a while. But he felt like he wanted to step aside and offer the opportunity to someone else. So, any questions on the appointments? If none, I'll entertain any motions from the council.
Motion to approve the appointments as read.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the mayoral appointments as listed. Any further questions on the motion? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number 2, review and consider action on an award for Copland and Keenis as general contractor for the 2018 Hall Road construction project. There's information from Rupert Milkey in our packet. I believe the recommendation, was there a recommendation, Jason? Yes, okay. It is Copland and Keenis for $518,000, or $518,919,007. Jason's here if there's any questions. This did come in under estimations or estimated values when we were talking about this project, so. Unless there's any questions, I'll entertain any motion from the council.
I'll make a motion to award the task order for Copland and Keenis as the general contractor for the Hall Road construction project.
Second.
Motion and a second to award Copland and Keenis as general contractor for the 2018 Hall Road construction project. Any discussion on that motion? If none, we should better take a roll call on that then. Thank you.
Kenny?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
Tylen?
Aye.
Traxler?
Aye.
Millar?
Aye.
Hendrickson?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Number 3, review proposal to pave the gravel parking lot at Meister Park. This was something that was brought to our attention during the last budget process, and I think we're going to use some remaining borrowed funds for that project. These costs came in a little bit less than we were anticipating as well. Looks like we have General Asphalt at $25,800 and Tri-County Paving right behind them at $25,841. I don't know that I see a recommendation on here, Davis?
Recommendations for general asphalt.
For General Asphalt, okay. Any questions for Davis on this?
I have a question for you, Davis, if you don't mind. In your recommendation for General Asphalt, was that solely on the fact that they were considered technically low bid? Or, I guess if we had experiences with one over the other, at $41 difference on a almost $26,000 contract, I feel like we should almost flip a coin. It's pretty close bidding.
We've used both contractors, both do excellent work. Part of it was, well, again, the numbers, obvious, but also in the business part of it. When you look at the square yards that Tri-County has, 222 square yards, and General Asphalt has 1,780 square yards. So in the business part of it, I guess I'm being a little picky. One didn't do the proper numbers. So if they can't get their paperwork right, you know.
What's the workmanship going to be like
Yeah.
on the back
But
end?
again, we've used them both. Both companies do good work. General was cheaper, and that was the heavy part of it.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice to see that General's from Beaver Dam and Tri-County's from DeForest, so we're definitely keeping it local too, so.
Yes, sir.
One question I have while you're up, Davis. On the General Asphalt proposal, they seem to have struck a lot of language out of number 1, which is, we hereby contract to furnish all then materials, including preparing, sawing, hauling, mixing, placing, shaping, compacting, are all crossed out.
Public Works is going to do all the prep work, and we would do that. That was for both contractors. We'll get all the gravel ready, laid out, graded, compacted. They'll come in and lay the asphalt.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that the new asphalt gets compacted as well.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Any further questions for Davis? All right.
Do you have any concern, Davis, in DPW doing prep work for them? Have you guys talked to, or have any language built in case of yielding or anything along those lines, or possible conflict between whomever we pick and DPW for doing the prep work on the front end and them doing the paving on the back
No,
end?
there's no issues with that.
Okay.
DPW used to in the past do paving as
Okay.
well, so we're well versed in doing the compacting and grading and all that kind
You
of
guys
stuff.
are comfortable taking care of that aspect?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Motion to approve General Asphalt in the amount of $25,800 for the paving of the Meister Park parking lot.
I have a motion and a second to approve General Asphalt for $25,800 to pave the gravel parking lot at Meister Park. Any discussion or questions on the motion? If none, let's please take a roll call.
Reed?
Aye.
Tylen?
Aye.
Traxler?
Aye.
Millar?
Aye.
Hendrickson?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. On to number 4, review bids and take action on the purchase of a UTV for the Public Works Department. We have a memo in our packet. Again, this is a discussion we've had since the last budget. The breakdown on the back of the memo shows the total cost with the additions that they're looking for, I believe. Davis is here to answer any questions if the council has any. I'm assuming the recommendation, Davis, was the Stotts and Sons? Correct. Okay, for $20,173.88.
I guess if anybody from the council could jog my memory in our previous discussions during budgeting or our ad hoc, this seems a little higher than I think the conversation we were having about the UTV, or is this in line? If you remember off the top of their head, I didn't have a chance to grab my notes from previous meetings. Or do we have an idea of how much we have left over from 2017 bonding? Kim's not here, but I think Patrick
Yeah, I
might
believe
know.
it was 108,000.
Okay. And none of that was previously earmarked?
Right, it was planned for the plow trucks that came in
Yeah.
under.
And has to be designated for vehicle equipment
Correct.
purchases?
Yep.
Okay.
And again, that's from the 10-year note funds, the remaining, correct?
Right.
Not the bond, okay. If I remember, I think the UTV was around that price. Maybe the extra sprayer and the light bars, maybe we didn't have, I don't remember the specifics on that, Matt.
Because Davis, you're hoping to, with the addition of the light bar and the sprayer and obviously the plow, to utilize this as a kind of multi-use vehicle throughout the city
Absolutely.
to do sidewalk plowing
All 4 seasons.
all
yes.
4 seasons and then spraying for running around the
Yeah,
parks and
dragging diamonds, everything, yep.
so the purchase of this obviously really kind of covers a lot of duties within the city.
It does. It covers more than what the vehicle it's replacing does.
And the current vehicle it's replacing is
The electric car,
electric car.
clown car, we call it. Yeah.
What's the future prospect for the clown car, as we call it,
That is currently on the auction site.
currently on the auction site? Okay. Thank you.
One more question, I guess, when I'm looking at the rundown for all 3 bids on the back, the low bid for Carl F. Stotts and Sons is $20,173, but that does not include the plow on our list. So that would be in addition to that yet?
The Stotts bid has the plow with it,
Oh, okay, I didn't look, I'm sorry, with Boss Plow, okay.
yes.
It was just listed differently here, okay. Andy, did you have a question?
It was just a comment to Matt. I do recall seeing the light bar and the sprayer on the previous estimates
Okay.
that were brought up to us. And everything looks to be about what it was then.
Any further questions, Matt? No? If none, I'll entertain any motions from council.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a UTV for Public Works on the recommendation by Public Works for the Carl F. Stotts amount of $20,173.88.
I'll second that.
Motion a second to approve the purchase of a UTV for the Public Works Department on the amount of $20,173.88. Any discussion on that? If none, let's please take a roll call.
Tylen?
Aye.
Traxler?
Aye.
Millar?
Aye.
Hendrickson?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Number 5, then, review bids and take action on the purchase of a parks truck for the Public Works Department. Again, we have a memo in here. Looks like we have a quote from Countryside Ford and Napleton Chevy. Prices are very similar, literally $1 off between the Ford and the Chevrolet.
Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
I got a phone call from Countryside yesterday afternoon. The truck that they quoted us, that's in your packet, they sold. So I have a new packet with a new truck in there that I'll pass out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Again, this is a F-250, the new truck that they're quoting. The other one that they quoted was an XLT. This is just an XL. So the interior has vinyl instead of cloth. Most everything else is the same. I did speak to the crew as to, how do they feel about this one versus the one that was quoted, they're fine with either one. They really didn't care.
28,355, 72. Andy?
I just had a question for Davis, and maybe the rest of the council can weigh in on this. When we talked about this originally around budget time, the discussion was around a used truck, and now I see a new truck here, which is, significantly more than a used truck. So I would like some information on if anybody else recalls that, and if, what changed in the plan.
You are correct. We initially were talking about a used truck. The funding for that used truck was going to be based off of what we got from the auction of the older trucks. So knowing that we weren't going to get $30,000 from the, for the auction, that's, we were looking at used at that time. Since that time, the funding source has changed as to what we were going to be using for funding, and there it was recommended that we go with new instead of used.
Okay, so you see why this is kind of a surprise?
I do, totally understand.
So I think maybe we need to rethink our plan here, because, just because we have that extra money doesn't mean we need to spend it all on a brand new truck. There's other things that, the city may need, equipment wise, that we could use this money for as well. So, I don't know, that's my opinion on this. So, I don't know what we should do then.
Matt?
Davis, if you'll remind me, the truck that this truck would be replacing is a what?
It's a 3/4 ton pickup truck, very old one, floorboards are rusted, the door don't close, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a 97, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's replacing in kind the size
Oh, yeah.
and type of the truck.
Correct.
Usual usage for the 3/4 ton for DPW, what does that look like?
Everyday usage, from going back and forth to jobs, to following along with the chipper truck, to emptying garbage, hauling picnic tables, virtually everything we do, pickup trucks are being used for.
Did you acquire the previous truck new in '97 or so, the year it was, or was it a used
I
model?
believe so, but I'm not sure.
Might be before your time a little
Yeah,
bit.
oh yeah,
Okay.
way before my time.
I do concur with Andy. I think that during budget discussion and ad hoc about this stuff, we were looking more in the $15,000 range for a used truck. And now we're seeing a new one, and it makes sense, obviously, that if the plan would be, because of the funds from 2017 being earmarked for equipment purchases and kind of being narrowed as to what we can actually use that for, to have that conversation about what to do with those funds. But I think that the UTV made sense to put on this meeting, but I think that the truck might need to go back to the cow just kind of for a little more of a discussion, because of kind of the change last minute, I guess, in change in nature and idea of what we're doing, making sure that we're utilizing or planning appropriately. Because I'm assuming if we purchase this truck new, it'll sit around for 21 years or so, unless, do you have a running vehicle kind of in and out schedule that DPW is running?
We do have a vehicle replacement program, yes.
Okay. Would it be replacing this truck in a couple of years, trying to get resale value on it, or
No,
holding on to it long term?
We've never been able to replace before they're practically used up.
Yeah.
The funding just has never been there.
Okay. I guess all the things make sense to me as to what you're doing, but going from kind of conversations about ad hoc about a used truck at 15 and jumping up to a full brand new here, I'd be a little hesitant to act on it right away at this meeting. I wouldn't mind just pushing it back one, just to make sure that we've had kind of the full teeth sunk into it. That's my 2 cents.
Do you know, I know Kim's not here, but is there an expiration date on using up those unused proceeds from the note?
Generally, there's 3 years from the borrowing, so we're at, that was a 2017 borrowing, so we're in good shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Patrick. Regan, you turned your light off? Question? Okay, all right. Any other questions for Davis? Trina?
Oh, I would just like to see some comparable price listings for different years for similar vehicles, just to see if we might actually save money, new versus used, depending on wear and tear. It can vary so much, and I imagine it might be a little tricky to get us to pre-approve a used vehicle in time for you to purchase such used vehicle while it's still available, but you just get us some info so we can compare.
Do you know how many miles are on the 97? That's on the auction right now, isn't it?
It is on the auction. I don't have that number
Okay.
today.
All right. What's the will of the council at this point?
Motion to table the purchase of a 3/4 ton Ford pickup for further discussion.
Second.
Motion and a second to table discussion to next committee of the whole meeting for further information possibly about comparables to used or whatever. Okay. Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll table that to the next committee of the whole. Thank you, Davis. Okay. Number 6, consider and take action on Plan Commission recommendation to approve a zoning map amendment from R2 to R3 requested by Delwood and Linda Madsen at 538 Spring Street. Matt's here in case there's questions. This did go through the Plan Commission. That was a month ago at least, wasn't it, Matt?
No, May 17th.
May 17th, okay. And the recommendation was to approve that zoning change. Questions, Matt's here to answer. R2 is medium-density residential, R3 is high-density residential district. I believe it made sense to convert it to probably what it would have been originally, it seemed like, when it came to the Plan Commission, right, Matt? Yeah. Unless there's any questions, I'll entertain any motions from the council. Matt?
Concerns or questions that popped up? Was there any concerns or questions that popped up during the Plan Commission about changing this to high density?
I'll let Matt address that. I don't think there was concerns that
I noticed that at the bottom here, you say that the future land use for this place would remain consistent with the Columbus Comprehensive Plan, which I know that we are in the process of like tweaking. So I guess, are we in flux, everything's still cool
Yeah.
even with this
Well,
change?
The future land use map shows it as residential, so it's still going to be a residential zoning. The issue is when you do the land division, and that's their next step, they would be creating 2 non-conforming lots. And the change from R2 to R3 is a subtle change, but it makes their land division, creates 2 legal lots. And that's what triggered the need for the rezoning. Actually, the neighborhood surrounding it is closer to the R3 district than it is the R2 district. Because the R3 is typically the near downtown area, the older homes on the smaller lots. And that neighborhood is fairly similar. I'm not really sure why most of it's zoned R2, but when I met with Betty and Linda and Delwood, I realized they couldn't just divide the lot easily, unfortunately, so that they needed the rezoning to make it a legal lot. So.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Matt while he's up? Seeing none, I'll entertain any motion from the council.
I'll make a motion to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation to approve a zoning map amendment from R2 to R3 requested by Delwood and Linda Madsen at 538 Spring Street.
A motion and a second to approve the recommendation of the Plan Commission as read by Alder Traxler. Any further discussion on that motion? If none, can we please take a roll call?
Trexler,
Aye.
Millar,
Aye.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Tylen.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Number 7. Jason, did you want to say anything? I think is that you or no?
No, I'm number 6.
Okay.
We're on the next one.
Number 7
Oh, I'm 6.
on the agenda.
Oh, on the
Sorry.
agenda, I'm sorry. I'm 6. Yes, that is. I would go sit down. Snow White. Oh, I'm going to go leave because this deals with my property, my personal property, my home. So,
Thank you. Yeah, consider and take action on Plan Commission recommendation to approve a certified survey map of parcel number 1222.117 at 501 Vista Circle. Again, Matt's here to answer any questions. It's basically just completing a CSM to combine parcels together due to an addition to a home. Ownership is not changing. It's just combining lots. Didn't seem to be any specific concerns brought up at the Planning Commission about this, Matt. Pretty
I
straightforward.
just have a question.
Yep, please.
I'm assuming that this is more of like a custom home area of the city versus like a builder's development or anything, so a combination and an addition wouldn't really be overbuilding this particular.
It still meets the minimum requirements for the zoning code, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to troll Jason for a while about this one, being that it's his property, I'll make a motion to, where are we at here? Take action on the Plan Commission recommendation to approve the CSM of parcel number 1222.117 at 501 Vista Circle begrudgingly.
I will second it.
Have a motion and a second to approve the Plan Commission's recommendation to approve the CSM of parcel number 1222.117 at 501 Vista Circle. Any further discussion on the motion? If none, could we please take a roll call?
Millar,
Aye.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. You can come back now, Jason. Number 8 is consider and take action on the Plan Commission recommendation to approve a certified survey map of parcel number 894 and 895 and 131 and 151 Harrell Street. Matt, I think I'll let you explain this. I know that Uriah had a question at that meeting.
So this is the property of Bob's Beverage and the Columbia County Highway Shop. They are doing a lot line adjustment between the two parcels. So and you can see in the CSM that they're basically changing the angle, the way the line divides the two properties. And an issue was raised at Plan Commission because the property, Bob's Beverage property to the north is zone B2, and the property for the Columbia County Highway Department is zoned I1 industrial. If we needed to go through a rezoning process along with the CSM, because technically with the land switch, you'd have the two zonings for one parcel, and technically the zoning does not follow the parcel line. So I followed up with City Attorney Johnson, and he agreed that a rezoning was needed. I do know that somebody from representing the county is here to speak.
Okay.
I don't really have anything to add other than that, unless there's questions right now for me.
Any questions for Matt? Okay. Thanks, Matt. We have a representative from the county here to speak on this.
Hi.
Hi.
Scott Hewitt. I'm the land surveyor working for the county.
Okay.
Yeah, and, yeah, we're fine with doing the rezone. I guess the request tonight would be, can we move forward with having the certified survey map recorded, allowing the lot line adjustment to take place, so that we could use the descriptions of the certified survey map for the rezoning. I think there's an advantage there, for the description purposes.
I see the city attorney shaking his head yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Is there a particular way that you would like the motion to be worded? Is this a contingency? How do you word the motion to reflect?
Where is the rezoning ready for final approval tonight? No.
That has not
Okay.
gone through.
Yeah. You need to come back and go through the.
Go to the June Plan Commission.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back to this group at the July 3rd, assuming there's a July 3rd council meeting, or the first meeting in July. It would be approved at council.
As long as the rezoning is in the hopper, I don't have a serious problem, because I know it'll get done. To just go ahead and approve the map tonight, and Scott makes a good point about using that legal description for rezoning purposes. That'll clean things up considerably.
Okay. Make sense to everybody? Okay. Thanks, Scott.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that. If there's no further questions, I'll entertain any motion from the council.
Motion to take action on the Plan Commission recommendation to approve a CSM of parcel 894 and 895 and 131 and 151 Hurl Street for the adjustment in the lot line as laid out in our packet.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the Plan Commission's recommendation to approve the certified survey map of parcels listed in the motion. Any further discussion on that motion? If none, let's please take a roll call.
Hendrickson?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
Tylen?
Aye.
Traxler?
Aye.
Millar?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 9, another recommendation from the Plan Commission. Consider and take action on Plan Commission recommendation to approve a CSM of parcel number 1127.02 and 1127.03 and 319 and 335 Fuller Street. I don't remember anything specific coming from the Plan Commission on this. It seemed very straightforward. Essentially, a neighbor buying a 15 by 150 strip of land from an adjacent parcel and combining that into CSM. If there's any questions, we have Matt or Attorney Johnson if he has any concerns on this. It seemed pretty straightforward. Andy?
I'll make a motion to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation to approve the CSM of parcel 1127.02 and 1127.03 and 319 and 335 Fuller Street.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Plan Commission's recommendation as read. Any further discussion on the motion? If none, can we please take a roll call on that?
Kenny?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
Tylen?
Aye.
Traxler?
Aye.
Millar?
Aye.
Hendrickson?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Number 10, consider and take action on a per-property incentive amount for the clay lateral replacement program. This was something we discussed at the ad hoc meeting last week. I know that we discussed this also at the last committee of the whole, and I think it's just trying to get to a number to use this year. If we have questions, Jason's here, Patrick's here. Hendrickson, did you have a question?
No, sorry.
Okay. It looks like the recommendation at this point is $1,800 per property incentive to encourage replacement of clay sewer laterals. I believe this is a starting point, and we can talk about long-term policy. Trina, go right ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering if we were going to have maximum yearly amounts added in as a little safety measure, although I know there's a good amount in the fund, but just wanted to.
Did we already establish that?
There was a motion approved at the last meeting to set 30,000 as the maximum cumulative amount.
Thank you.
Good question. Matt, question?
Yeah, I guess springboarding off of Trina's question, the actionable item here, number 10 on tonight's agenda, is basically just to memorialize the number, dollar amount, correct? Because we already kind of took action on the cap, and we're just memorializing that number, but there's still discussion to be had about what the full details of the policy will look like long-term, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's my understanding.
I guess I think this is a very beneficial program for the city, and R&M did a good job of putting together a kind of a packet of information, kind of giving idea to long-term benefits for this. I'd like to see this go forward year by year and have more conversations during the process developing this policy. To also talk about lead lateral replacement after the DNR grant runs dry, that well runs dry. So with that, I'll make a motion to take action on the per property incentive amount for the clay lateral replacement program in the amount of $800 per property. Yeah, $800. sorry, I'm really cold, so I feel like I'm already starting to like chattering my teeth over here. In the amount of $1,800 per property owner, with pending details coming forward about the full policy.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the per property incentive amount for the clay lateral replacement program for $1,800. Any discussion on the motion? If none, can we please take a roll call on that?
Reed.
Aye.
Tylen.
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
Millar.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Number 11, did we have any operators licenses to approve? Okay, clerk is specifying we have none this evening. Then number 12 would be consider and take action on claims in the amount of $477,736.04. If there's any questions on the claims? Matt?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. If there are no questions on the claims, I'll entertain any motions from the council.
Motion to approve the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve city claims in the amount as read. Any further discussion on the motion? If none, can we please take a roll?
Tylen.
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
Millar.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Number 13, report of city officers. I'll let you jump in first, Patrick.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things to share. Just want to thank the community for the patience on the work completed at Park Avenue. We haven't gotten like the all clear signal, but judging by the striping and everything there, it looks like the project's all done and we have a good surface out there. So good deal there. Wanted to share that the aquatic center is now open, full hours for the summer. For the benefit of the public, that those hours are weekdays noon to 4 and then 6 to 8:30 at night, and weekends noon to 8:30. And just as I've reported to you and to let folks know, I'll be away from the office starting later this week into next week. So that's all I've got.
Thanks, Patrick. Another reminder that the City Council is going to be having a summer listening session on Tuesday, June 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Fireman's Park Pavilion upstairs. Also coming up soon, the Columbus Horse and Carriage Festival is scheduled again for Father's Day weekend, which is June 16th and 17th. The event is held at Fireman's Park. Competitors will enter divisions to compete for championship prizes over the weekend. Horse and driving related vendors will be on hand, as well as food vendors selling treats, including barbecues, burgers, and brats. This is a free event, and I encourage anyone who has not attended in previous years to please check out this unique annual event. Reminder that school is out. Be cautious on the lookout for children in the crosswalks during the summer months as they're headed to the pool or perhaps the library. Anyone looking for opportunities to keep their kids busy this summer, I would encourage them to grab a copy of this. There's many events for kids this summer. I looked at the library website today, and they have something going on, practically every day of the week there besides their summer reading program. So there's a lot of stuff to do for the youth. If you're an adult looking to become more engaged in the community, the Columbus Area Historical Society meets June 12th at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Library Annex, which is 251 West James Street. They're always looking for new faces to join in their meetings, and also the Friends of the Library are looking for more friends. And they meet the third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. at the same building at the Library Annex. That's all I had. Anybody else have anything to add up here? Matt?
Yeah. I started writing a speech, but I guess that's not my usual part for the course. So just going to take a second to say that about 3 years ago I moved to Columbus, looking outside of Madison for a community that's growing and developing. Columbus really kind of stood out on my radar, so I purchased a house here and moved here, looking at a lot of potential. Upon getting here, I think I started seeing potential for some change or some involvement and whatnot, and Mike kind of told me to either put up or shut up, so I took him up on the offer and decided to run for his seat. Big shoes to fill for sure. I think there's a lot of people in our community who have a lot of opinions about what can be done in our community to make it better. And the best way to do that, obviously, is to go on to commissions or committees or to run for council. So I did that. I hope that my last year here has helped and that it's been beneficial for the community. Plans in my life have changed. I will be closing on my house hopefully next week and we'll be moving officially out of Columbus. So because of that, as of my ramblings coming to an end today, I'll be officially resigning my position as District 3 alderperson. I guess with that kind of, rather than rambling on, closing words, just remind the council, especially the new members, to continue to ask questions. My boss at work, one of his favorite phrases is that we are stewards of the taxpayer dollars. And that's something that I think should be kept in mind here, that up here we represent our constituents, and we are here to make sure that everything is checks and balances and to kind of keep staff honest and they keep us honest and to keep moving forward with day-to-day activities. And that reminder to everybody out there in the community that sitting on this on this council, there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of work that goes into it. It's easy to throw us under the bus, but I know there's a lot of really great people up here who put in a lot of good time and effort. And I would challenge anybody out in the community to come talk to me about that. I will defend what we do and what you guys do till, well, every day, I guess. Keep working on infrastructure, keep working on the roads and the sidewalks. I had a couple items I put in the budget myself that I'd like to see continue. Yeah, and with that, like I said, stewards of the taxpayer dollars, this has been a really great experience. I would have loved to have stayed longer, but stay la vie. So, thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure serving with you. Thank you for your contributions and your time. You've put a lot of work in a short while. Hate to see you go, but thanks for what you've done. Unless there's anything else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will return in a few short minutes with the committee of the whole meeting. Thank you.
I know there's a copy here, but I'm still
Unless we get another
don't worry, I'll be around. And she's sitting over here. Zero pucks getting over here.
But I'm glad you did. You sat next to me, so I'm glad you did.